Sit. Back. Sit. Back. One. Sit. Here. Here. Back. One. Heel. Sit. Easy. Back. Get down. Get down. Sit. Come on, let's go. Heel. Sit. Easy. Heel. Sit down. Sit. Back. Sit. Let's go. Hold. Sit. Heel. Sit. Easy. Get down. Hold. Drop. Heel. Sit. Heel. Back. Sit.
All right, hello everybody. Mike Hurt checking back in with you live here on YouTube on Thursday evenings to talk dogs, get you up to date on some of the latest retriever news going around the country, and of course to highlight some of the videos that I'm working on, and of course some of the videos I just posted, and to have a little Q&A for anybody out there that is interested in that kind of information. Let's see. Let's get into some retriever news this week, some hunt test news. But there was a Hall of Fame in Tennessee over the weekend, and you can check that out on Retriever News' website. You can see there was some inductees for individuals and for dogs. One of them here is Lauren Hayes and her dog. Which is sire to my dog. So that was kind of interesting to see. And congratulations to Lauren and Fox. And that was kind of a cool deal for you folks there down in Texas. But again, a lot of great information. And these are really interesting to read when folks get inducted into the Hall of Fame and dogs get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Man, wouldn't you love to have a dog that you could have in the Hall of Fame? That would be sweet, huh? That's probably a lofty goal, but nonetheless, I'm going to try. Try best I can. All right, other news. Let's turn to the American Kennel Club. And on their webpage, there was some information coming out here about retriever hunt tests and field trials. So let's go through some of these. The first one here is DQ by judges. And let's see if I can click on that and open that up. It may not allow pop-ups. Nope, not going to allow pop-ups. But anyway, the information there, if your dog attacked another dog, for example, at a field trial, got written up, turned into the American Kennel Club, that dog cannot run field trials. There's finer details about that, but you can check it out online. However, you could not go down and run a hunt test, and vice versa. So once you're on the DQ list, that dog or you're DQ'd from all American Kennel Club events. Let's see. I need to try and pull that up because there was a lot of great information on here about some new rule changes. And of course, back in 2025, some of the rule changes there had to deal with amateurs entering in on the amateur set-aside. And on that amateur set-aside, there were no limits, but now they actually limited. Let's see if I can get this to pop up. No, don't see it. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought here because I can't get that to pop up, which I was able to earlier today. Some of the rule changes. Now you can only enter 3 in the amateur set-aside, and that came out late last year. There were other things regarding how things are judged. One of the big things that I am totally 100% against is handing out ribbons after your dog runs the final series. And that is an option that clubs have available. If judges both agree that that dog got a qualifying score, they could give you a ribbon right then and there. That is a huge red flag for me. And for the way I run my retriever club, Treasure State Retriever Club, I don't like that at all because there are mistakes that are made. The judges have to talk about some of the dogs, and it's just not fair to hand out ribbons to some folks and not others because your dog didn't have a good run, and then all that paperwork that has to be signed. Mistakes are going to be made, in my opinion, if you do that. So that is certainly not something I agree with. Oh boy, what else? There was a clean series triple, and a clean series triple in the Master, for example. That meant, so in the Master you run 3 series. You run a land series, you run a land water series, and you run a water series. And in one of those you have to have a clean triple, which means that you cannot handle on a mark. that's an interesting rule because some of your tests don't necessarily run triples. You can run a double with a double blind and a diversion bird. So that's 5 birds you got to pick up. So if you get to the last series and they decide to do a double set of marks and a double blind and a diversion bird, that's not a clean triple. So you may be gone. So that's a new rule. But it probably puts a little more pressure on judges to actually do more triples in all 3 series. Give you a chance to pass. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. See, blind retrieves, and of course, awarding ribbons I went over. The amateur set-aside I went over. Clean triple. Oh, the area of the fall. So if you get outside of an area of the fall and you start to having a bit of a hunt and stuff, judges are going to grade you 0 on marking, which means if you can, you may want to handle in the area instead of out of the area. And we'll go into a judges seminar here in March, and that'll be interesting to have that conversation and see what's going on with that. Okay, then with blind retrieves was the new rule. You have to make progress to a blind. Then there's some wording in there, and I wanted to pull it up so I didn't have to memorize it, but now I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head. If your dog gets beyond the blind and you call it in, that's making progress to the blind. And then there was some wording in there that was kind of confusing, and if some of you out there know, leave a little comment in the chat window. But about judges specifying, like jumping over a log or going through a keyhole or whatever, if you could bring a dog back to try and get it to go through there, if it missed it, etc. So there's some wording in there in the new rules for this year. A lot of little changes that are going to be showing up in the rule book as we go forward. Let's see, moving on, let's get into some Master National news. Some Master National news that came out, I believe, today or yesterday. New Region 3 director, board appointed a new Region 3 director. And congratulations to Jeff Bundy. I know Jeff very well. He has been a wonderful partner with the Master Amateur Retriever Club, and he's always there to help out. But now he is moved up to the board of directors for the Master National as a Region 3 director. And again, one of my first Master Nationals that I ran with Radar, he was one of the judges, and that was in McCall, Idaho. And I had a lot of fun getting to know Jeff and his co-judge there in McCall, Idaho at the Master National in, what was that, 2022, I think, something like that, top of my head. So, and there's a nice little write-up here on the masternational.org website. So if you want to read more about Jeff Bundy and his background, etc., he's been in the dog game a long, long time. And again, that information is right there. So let's move on to the Master Amateur, something I know very much about because I am the communications director for the Master Amateur Retriever Club. And right now we're right in the beginnings of renewing memberships for the new year. And I just posted this infographic on the Master Amateur Facebook page. And here it says, renew your membership, basically. And you have to do it for 2 reasons. One, if you are qualified to run the Master Amateur Invitational, which is going to be in Stoughton, Wisconsin in late June, you have to be a member of that organization. Even though you qualified, you have to be a member to run it. Now, if you want to try and qualify for the 2027 Master Amateur Invitational, which begins, the qualifying period begins March 1st. So there are hunt tests starting that first weekend in March. And if you're trying to use those early weekends to get qualified for the 27 event, you have to be a member of the Master Amateur Retriever Club. So go to the website, masteramateur.com, and go through the membership process. For most people that don't know, that membership process is through the website, but it's through Entry Express. I think they call it Membership Express. So if you have difficulty renewing or trying to be a new member, make sure you reach out. There are emails on there, etc. And if you have troubles, we want to know about it because we want to get those issues resolved as soon as possible. Let's see. So we'll go back to here real quick again. And if you want to be a part of the Facebook page, go ahead and try and join. And you can find a lot of great information here about upcoming hunt tests and just what's going on for the 2026 event. I'll be posting more and more information because the window to register will be coming up soon in the next month and a half. I think it opens up in April. Don't quote me on that, but it'll be opening up here fairly soon. So if you got qualified, there's three things you need for the Master Amateur. Step one is to be a member. That's very important. Step two is to have a Master Hunter title. Step three is to get qualified. You need 4 passes. Now, if you're on your way to getting your master title, let's say you already have 2 master passes and you don't have your title yet, still join the Master Amateur Retriever Club. Because if you get those 4 passes to get your master title, it'll also qualify you for the Master Amateur Invitational in 2027. So even though you may not have that master title, join the Master Amateur Retriever Club. And I did get a personal email from a gentleman who was disappointed to find out that his dog wasn't qualified even though he got all the passes. And why wasn't that dog qualified? Because he wasn't a member of the Master Amateur Retriever Club. Step one, you have to be a member of the Master Amateur Retriever Club. That's very important. If you miss that step, nothing else behind that matters. So you have to put your $50 in, become an annual member. There's a lifetime membership option in there as well. There's several different membership options. So step one, you got to become a member. Other news that I thought was kind of a cute story. I did see this on my social channels. Goldens in Golden, Colorado. Apparently they do this every year. Some of the CBS, ABC ran stories on this, and I mean, all these golden retrievers go to Golden, Colorado in the first weekend in February. Well, cute story. There's a lot of great video, and it's a lot of fun. It looked like to me. But hey, if you are one of those people that were there for that event, make sure you drop a comment here, and I'd love to hear how fun it was and what you liked about it, and etc. So leave a comment because that's really kind of an adorable story. Golden's in Golden, Colorado. All right, now let's get back to business, what this channel is all about. And of course, you can stop by my website at blackblizzardretrievers.com. A lot of great information here. I'm trying to add more and more to it all the time. Let's see, you need to turn this on so I can click on training. Here you can find a little bit of information about the dogs, my 3 dogs, as an amateur retriever trainer, some links to videos that I have on my YouTube channel. A lot of great information there, and kind of a fun place just to stop and spend a half an hour and cruise around. All right, I have bombarded y'all with videos this week, and I apologize, but I had a lot of great content just sitting there waiting to go live, and I just couldn't wait. So I posted 3 videos 6 days ago. Back on February 6th was the 5 biggest mistakes, biggest blunders that you make as an amateur. Make sure you check that out. And again, that's been up for the last 6 days. And then back on Sunday, I posted my first course. The course was how to know if you're ready for your hunt test. There's a lot of red flags in there for junior, senior, master. A lot of things you probably didn't know. And again, I hope you found it incredibly useful. I'm going to try and post some kind of a course with a more long-form, in-depth information on Sundays. And I'll have the next one up for Sunday as well. And then 3 days ago on Monday, I posted a video on why good training still fails on hunt test day. And that video is live right here as well. So I've been posting a lot of shorts that kind of tease those videos. So I've been bombarded a little bit there too much, and I'm going to back off. I'm going to wait to post the next video. Well, actually tomorrow, but then the next one after that won't be until Friday. So I've got 3 videos coming. One tomorrow, which will be Friday the 13th. The next one will be on Sunday, and then the one after that will be on the following Friday. So I'm not going to try and do 3 videos a week. I'm just going to try and do 2. So my video release dates right now, that could change, are on Friday morning and on Sunday morning. So watch for those to go live. So the next video I have coming up Friday the 13th will be the week before a hunt test, the do's and don'ts. And I see a lot of people ruin their chances for the upcoming weekend hunt test, the type of training and the trouble they get into with their dog, trying to do too much, for example, the week before a hunt test. So there's a lot of great information there. These are not overly long videos. They're about 10, 12 minutes or so. So check that out. That goes live tomorrow morning. And then the second course video is going to be on the reality of retriever training. The real reasons your retriever isn't passing. Some hard truths that go into that. You need to take a hard look at yourself and your training, and there's a lot of great information on that course. And again, that's going to be released coming up on this coming Sunday. And then I've already got one edited, and it's just sitting there waiting to be posted and go live. That's going to come up a week from tomorrow, and then I'll have my third course following that on the Sunday after that. So again, my goal here is to post 2 videos a week, one being a course and the other one being general topic ideas. And there's something you want me to dive into, or you found something useful and you want to learn more about it, I have had a lot of great Q&A in the questions, in the comments on most of the videos, and I try and answer those, and kind of gives me ideas for some additional videos. And of course, every Thursday I am going live. Let me pull up the live feed. Just want to make sure the chat. Yep, nobody in chat. Okay, that's fine. So I got 5 of you watching right now, streaming about 22 minutes ago. So that kind of gives you a little bit of background information. So every Thursday we'll go live, and it's your opportunity to put something in the chat if you're a subscriber to this channel, and can have a little conversation back and forth that way. I look forward to those conversations online, and I'm having a lot of fun putting videos together and creating content and graphics and editing, and a lot of work goes in behind the scenes, and I'm doing all of it, 99% of it here on my cell phone, on the Galaxy S23. It's got a lot of great pro features in here for shooting video, audio, etc. And it's been one of the best little tools I have for shooting most of my videos. And if those of you that don't know me, I'm a broadcast meteorologist, and I've been in the business for 38 years now. And that cell phone shoots better video quality than most of our field gear at the TV station, and it's quite impressive. And it's about 3 or 4 years old, so it's not one of the brand new cameras that are out there. Boy, what else? Again, this channel is all about growing and helping amateurs. So it's an amateur first mentality. So I'm trying to be an advocate for new folks coming into the retriever game. And I run into new folks all the time. And in fact, I've got a gentleman here, it's in my hometown. He got his first dog. He's training it, and we're helping him train. And we've come a long way in the last month and a half that we actually crossed paths. And he's coming out to group training with us every weekend. But he's getting ready to think about running and entering his first hunt test. And he was asking me, he says, how do you do that? And he didn't know what the process was. And I'm sure most of you out there probably know, but I'm going to go over this real quick anyway. You have 2 options. In the American Kennel Club side, for AKC hunt tests, really the you're going to find this about 95, 96, 7% of the time, you got to go to what's called Entry Express. And I pulled that up here on my other computer. So you have to create an account on entryexpress.net. Again, entryexpress.net. So in here, once you get in here and you create an account and you log in, then you have to go to your profile. And I'm going to pull up my profile real quick. And it's got all my information, my email, my name, my address, my phone number, zip code, then whether I'm a pro or an amateur. So you have to pick whether you're a pro or an amateur, and whether you subscribe to Retriever News, which is not a big deal. You don't have to subscribe, but they are a part of Retriever News. And then you have to go to your dog. So once you create your profile, you have to create a profile for your dogs. So I have 3 dogs, and all 3 of them are in here. And you'll just have to create a new profile. And once you register your dog with the American Kennel Club, then you can fill all this information in. And that's a requirement to enter an AKC event. They have to be an AKC registered dog. So when you get that little card from the American Kennel Club, it has the dog's AKC registration number. So you have to enter that. You'll have to put in the sire and the dam of your dog. Your dog's date of birth, the breed of the dog, who bred the dog, who's the owner, the color, etc. And then the bottom half of this, where it says field trials and hunt tests, that will be tracked for you. You do not have to fill any of that in. So this dog, Radar, who's retired now, has 15 master passes. He had no derby points, and he didn't run in the field trial game, so he's got 0-0 on the field trial side. But on the hunt test side, again, it tracks that information automatically for you. So then my other 2 young dogs are listed in here as well. And you got River and Doppler, you got their date of birth, you got their sire and dam, and then Handler 1. So up here on the top where it says Handler 1, you want to make sure you put your name in there. And when you create the dog's profile, you'll have to pick. So you want your name to be Handler 1. I do not have a Handler 2. And you probably don't even want to fill it in. Just leave it blank. Because when you go to enter an event, so you go back up here to My Home, now you can search for events. So there's something called My Events. So in here, okay, so that was an event I was doing before we logged on. So it'll bring you up to this page. So you go to My Events, and then it'll bring you to this page here. You can search any state in the country to enter in an event. All organizations. So you got American Kennel Club, you got Specialty, and they have more than just retrievers. There's pointers, spaniels, and all kinds of different organizations. What type of event do you want to search for? There's pointer events, there's spaniel events, but there's AKC field trials, or there is AKC retriever hunt test. So you can break it down by event, or you can just not select anything, and then you can select whatever state you want to go to. So let's pick California, because I know there's a lot of events there this time of the year. And you say fetch events. And then it brings you to this page. So these are all the events that have, the results are already in. So those have already been ran, those have already been logged. You can't enter those. If you see a closed, those events have already closed, so you cannot enter those events. But where it says enter, you can enter those events. And then you come over to the right, and you can see AKC field trial, AKC field trial, field trial, field trial, AKC hunt test. So again, you can eliminate, if you just want to run hunt tests, you can just select in the other drop-down menu, AKC hunt tests, and it'll only show the hunt tests when you go to the state that you want to run in. Or you can just eliminate hunt tests and just list all the field trials, etc. But these are the events that you can enter. When it says pending, those events are pending because they have to go through the AKC finalization process, and then once they become live, then you can enter. But the AKC hunt tests, let me see if I can find one. See over here on the right, it says type, location, date, closing. So it'll tell you the dates that these events are going to be run. So, and that's good information as well. But if you're going to run an AKC hunt test and you need to pick the date that you want to run, you have to look at the club that you want to run. Let me find a hunt test here. Field trial hunt test. Here's one. So you can enter. Now, word of caution, if you're going to enter the master, it'll tell you the day that this is going to open. So entries open Wednesday, February 4th. This was 10 p.m. Pacific time, or Central time, rather. Amateur set aside for amateurs open up a day earlier. Now, this is for master. This isn't for junior, senior. You don't have to worry about the amateur set aside because there's not going to be an issue. Because you can see here in the master, they have a 25% amateur set aside. The maximum number of dogs is 66. And usually the second this thing opens for everybody, pros and AMs, on Wednesday, February 4th, is when it opens to everybody. But on Tuesday, February 3rd, this opened for the amateur set-aside. So if you're an amateur, try and get in on the amateur set-aside a day before everyone else tries to register. And that'll help you try and get into those hunt tests, because I'm telling you, the second this thing opens up on Wednesday to everybody, pros and AMs, this thing fills up within minutes, if not seconds. You got to be fast on the draw. You don't dilly-dally when it comes to entering the master. But again, it's not a big deal for the senior and the junior because, look, there's only 3 so far. And the event will close, where does it say? Entries close Monday, February 16th. So right now, the master is pretty much full on this double master. So the senior and junior have plenty of openings here. So that's not a big rush. You can take your time entering junior and senior, but when it comes to master, man, you got to be Johnny on the spot. Either you try and get in on the amateur set aside, and again, only 25% of 66 dogs, 25% of those get to enter the day before. Once that fills up, then you have to jump in here with everybody else on Wednesday. That's typical for all clubs. Amateur set-asides are on Tuesday. You enter everyone else, pros, AMs, whoever didn't get on the amateur set-aside, has to go through the general opening on Wednesday. And man, the second that thing opens, you have to, again, be Johnny on the spot and get in there as fast as you can, because sometimes you can't. And sometimes there's a waiting list. Not a big deal. And I know a lot of times that if a pro has 7, 8, 9, 10 dogs entered and 2 of them come down with kennel cough, he's going to scratch all of his dogs. You're not going to come there at all. So that opens up a bunch. So stay on the waiting list until it closes, and then you're not out any money. Anyway, that's a long-winded explanation of Entry Express. So what's the other one? If you want to run HRC, it's usually event. No, it's not event secretary. Is it event secretary? Huntsecretary.com. It's huntsecretary.com. You'll find most HRC events on. Now, both Entry Express and Hunt Secretary have HRC and AKC. So if you are looking for a specific event, you don't see it, then go to the other one and try and find it there. Sometimes you'll find it there. If you don't see the event that you're looking for, it may be it's just the folks that are putting on that event haven't put all that information in on either one of those yet, and it'll be forthcoming. On the AKC side, you have to have that information in, I believe, 3 months ahead of time. So events secretaries have to get that information posted on some kind of entry service 3 months ahead of time because it has to be improved. Otherwise, I believe there's penalties involved with that. All right. I've rambled on enough. Been about a half an hour here on the live YouTube channel. And again, my name is Mike Hurd, Black Blizzard Retrievers. If you guys have any questions at all that I can help you with, please, I'm an open book, and I would love to help you with your training, entering hunt tests, advice on if you have a question on running a junior, senior, master, that I can try and answer that way. I know a little bit about HRC, not a lot, but I have friends that know a lot about it, and I can certainly look into finding those details. So now we're moving into some videos that are detailed with training and running hunt tests and how to analyze your training and what to look for in your hunt test events. And again, I'm going to have a video out that has a mid-run. If you have a mistake mid-run in your hunt test, that video is coming out soon. I'll give you some information there. All right, everybody, have a good night. I think that does it for the most part here this evening. Yeah. All right. I'm going to end this for now. And again, check out the channel. There's a lot of great videos here. There's like 300 videos here that have a lot of great information. Take advantage of it. All right. I'll see you next Thursday. If you have any questions, comments, drop a line. See you later.